What is up, you guys? For today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how to do a fluffy brow. Normally, I do not do brow tutorials here on YouTube, but I thought this one would be so much fun. Literally, I have been obsessed with doing my brows this way for probably the last 2 weeks. I was like experimenting because I was kind of like entering that benefit brow search, and for some odd reason, like I just found out this technique, and after I did it, I have been so hooked. And you guys know me, like if you've ever watched any of my other videos, like I like a good defined brow. Like I like it like really cut on the tail and a lot of definition because I just like that look. And for some odd reason, after I've done this type of brow, like I cannot go back to that. Like it's like kind of defined, but it's still kind of fluffy at the same time, which is definitely up my alley. It is literally like 80 degrees in my filming room, and like, oh my gosh, I am like so not used to it. Like a couple weeks ago we got snow, and then now all of a sudden it's like super nice out and summery, and I just like, I'm just sitting here like, please don't make me look like a pig on camera because I feel like sweaty and gross because I'm so not used to it. And I just want to say, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. And if you don't follow me already on Instagram, I post 7 days a week and a ton more tutorials over on there. So before I even apply product to my brows, the first thing that I do is just kind of get rid of all like those like little baby hairs on the sides and really just kind of like clean up the shape a little bit. I truly believe that if you get your brows done, you should definitely like just make sure that you're keeping up and maintaining the shape and all of that. Personally, for me, I haven't had my brows waxed in probably like 3 years, but I definitely don't really have brows either, so I mean, take that in consideration. But my favorite tweezers right now are from Anastasia, if I can grab them right. But I really actually find that these ones are worth their money. I think they're really nice, and they are so stinking sharp. Like, they actually cut me the other day, like on the side, because I held it wrong and I pinched my skin somehow. But these ones are like so stinking sharp. They will get like any baby hair or anything on your like under here that you don't see. Like, these ones are definitely worth their money. However, if you are on a budget, these ones from Revlon I have been using for years, and I think they're like $6 or $8 at Walmart. Literally the nicest like drugstore tweezers I have ever used that are really affordable. Not to mention, if you do watch out, you can get like a coupon on them too. They kind of look like this. They have like a quilted look to them, but I've had these ones for probably like 6 years. They are literally amazing. So I'm just going to take these Anastasia tweezers and just start kind of reshaping underneath my brow and just getting rid of all those little baby hairs that are super, super annoying and just really obnoxious, and they need to go away. And I'm mostly like focusing kind of cleaning up underneath the front of my brow, like right in here. I get so many little baby hairs right here. And I also get a ton above my arch, kind of over in here, like by the tail and kind of arch area. So I'm just going to kind of clean this up and get it all kind of pretty looking. So once you have cleaned up your brows and given them like a really nice shape, the next thing that we are going to do is comb through our brows. I know like a lot of people don't really do this, but trust me, if you don't, do it. Like, it actually like changed my game on my brows after I started doing it. Like, just trust me on it, you will like it after you do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spoolie, which is on a number 7B brush from Anastasia, and in the front of my brow, I comb them upwards. As you can tell, I don't really have a lot of brow hair though, so I comb this part upwards. And then when I get to the tail, I kind of like comb them outwards. And I just kind of like follow that natural kind of like shape of my tail. So I just comb it right straight out. And I just kind of do this until I get like where I want to be. So I just keep on like flicking them upwards and out. This will also help us kind of get a really good shape, so when we trace it in, we kind of know what we're getting into and like seeing what we're going to work with. So the main product that we are going to be using today is literally like my all-time holy grail brow product. I seriously have been using this for years, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Taupe. I love this stuff literally so much. I love the color of it. It is a perfect color match for me for my brows. Not to mention, these little jars go the longest way. I just really enjoy this product. But if you are following this tutorial, use whatever you have in your collection. You don't have to use what I'm going to be using today. You know, if you have ones from like Milani, L'Oreal, or like Benefit, just use what you have. You don't have to use what I use. I just really like this stuff and I have it open, so why not use it? So the key to me to get a fluffy brow is definitely the brush that you use. I know it sounds super crazy and kind of weird, but trust me on this. You want a really razor sharp brush. It doesn't matter the brand that you're going to use, but you want it to be able to create those baby little hairs for you. Because if your brush is too thick, you will make your brows look kind of funny and they'll just look really chunky. So you really want to make sure that you are using a brush that can give you like those like nice little hair strokes. And I'll be honest, for years I was using the number 12 brush from Anastasia, and I'll show you guys up close and get it focused. But if you look really closely at this brush, like when I push down on it, like the hairs just kind of like fray out just a little bit, which isn't a bad thing. It's just the type of brush that it is. And like the bristles themselves aren't really like super razor sharp. So you can see like it's pretty precise, but it's not like crazy precise. Lately, I have been watching a ton of tutorials from Anastasia herself doing brows. Literally, like how she does brows is so unique and different. I have never seen anybody do them like her. And I've also been watching a lot of like the Anastasia artists do brows, and what I've noticed is a lot of them use this number 7B brush. And as you can see from this brush, the hairs are really stiff. Like when I push down on it, like this brush is like so stinking stiff, which is really good to like create those like little hairs. And also this brush is so razor sharp. You can create really nice hair strokes with this one. By far the best brush I have ever used to do this. And it is literally a game changer. If you are going to buy any of the products that I'm recommending today, get this brush. I will highly like stand behind it because it is amazing for this. I know this is gonna be like really weird, but I'm gonna show you guys how I get my brush so precise with the product, because like when I first started using Dipbrow, I didn't ever like clean off my brush and I got my brows looking so waxy and kind of ugly. So I'm gonna show you guys how to actually use this product too, or at least how I use it. So I'm just gonna take my pomade and I'm gonna focus my camera. Let's hope it focuses. And then I'm just gonna take my number 7B brush and I'm just gonna dip in here just a little bit. Just enough to get some product on the brush. You don't want to like really like push it in there. You just want like a little bit of product on the tip of the brush. I feel like a lot of people don't really mention this tip anymore, but literally it is a game changer if you are using cream products. You know, like when you have like these types of products, whether it's a pomade, a gel eyeliner, anything along those lines, and you are using the cap, what I like to do is take the product itself when I'm not using it, and I take like something like a flat surface. You can use a table or anything, and I literally store it upside down, because that'll make it so the air doesn't hit the product and it won't dry out as quick. And I mean, if it does dry out, you can always use something like a mixing medium, but I have found when I have started doing this, my products don't dry out as quickly. I know my lid is really nasty, but we are going to be using it today just to make our brush a little bit more razor sharp. And I have the exact same amount of product on my brush right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find like a spot on my little lid, and I'm taking the brush and I'm really working that product in to both sides of the brush. And this will help kind of like thin it out and make your brush super razor sharp. You can do this with any type of brush. I use this technique like all the time, even when I do like gel eyeliner. I'm just working the product on either side, just so we don't have like any buildup, and it's just gonna have the right amount of product. So I don't know how well my camera is gonna show this, but I got this brush like super stinking razor sharp when I did that. Like it is like hair like thinness. It is really crazy thin, which is definitely what we are looking for. And as you can see, like there's no product buildup on either side of the brush. It looks like there's just a little product, which is again what we are looking for. So with the product on my brush, I'm just going to quickly trace underneath my brow. So a little tip when you are defining the bottom of your brow is that when you are doing the bottom, where you end on your tail is where the end of your brow will be. And for me personally, I don't do it like how normal people do. They like to do like from the corner of their nose to their eye to their brow, like do like a line here. I just don't like how that looks on me, so I do mine a little bit higher up. But you can do it to anywhere you want it to be, and you can definitely correct it later on. I just find it's a little bit easier to do it in the beginning, since you are able to get like that really crisp line when you do it. So I just added some more product to my brush again, and now we are going to start drawing in the hairs. So how I draw hairs in my brows is a little bit different than how I normally do, and how I have my brush on my brow is that I have the longer bristles towards the bottom and the shorter bristles towards the top. So as you can see right here. And how I have my brush on my brow is like this, if it's a little bit easier to see. So you can see like the longer hairs are towards the bottom of my brow and the shorter hairs are towards the top. And what I do is I have it so it's vertically, and then I just start flicking it upwards. And this will create the little hairs for us. And this is how I do it in the front of my brow. For the tail, I do it a little bit different, so we'll go over that in a second. But for the front and like the main portion, this is how I do it. And I also do want to say, when you are doing this, you really want to take that less is more approach, like trust me on this. So when I'm doing it, I'm doing like little baby hairs at first, and I'm making sure that I'm getting my brow really filled in, and then I start thickening it up later. So then I start kind of doing like these like longer kind of hair strokes to make it a little bit thicker and to give my brow a little bit more shape. Because trust me, like it's so much easier to apply more product than take away, especially with a pomade. Again, I added some more product to the brush, and now we are going to start doing the tail of the brow. So how I draw in the hairs on the tail is a little bit different than what I do in the front of my brow. And as you can see, like I hold my brush a little bit different. I actually have the opposite way. So the longer side is on the top and the shorter bristles are on the bottom. And what I do is, I'll focus so you guys can see a little bit better, is I mimic the hair and like the shape of my tail. So I kind of like flick my hairs outwards, following that natural shape of my tail. So I kind of start right here where my tail kind of starts, and I start flicking them outwards. And then I just keep on doing that until I get the thickness that I'm looking for and get the shape that I'm looking for. And I just keep on doing this until I get my brow to look just how I want it to look. And definitely the tail is kind of like the tricky spot, because sometimes if you get it like too thick, you don't really notice it until you look forward and it's like, oh my gosh, my brow looks really crazy. And if that happens, you can just take like a little bit of concealer and go around on this side and redo it. Or you can take like the spoolie and start like combing it through to see how you can fix it. But definitely it is one of those things you just have to kind of get used to and just see what works for you. Now you can stop doing your brows right here and like trust me, you will have the most beautiful brows and you will definitely have a bomb ass brow day. However, your girl likes going in with a brow gel just to help like define the hairs, make my brows look a little bit thicker, and I just feel like it just makes my brows look a lot more natural. And the one that I have been absolutely loving, like this is becoming a holy grail for me, is the Milk Makeup Kush Brow Gel in the shade Dutch. I love this stuff so much and it makes my brows look like natural. And a lot of brow gels for me, they make my brows kind of look like they have like a gel through them. And this one doesn't do that to me. It actually makes my hairs look like hairs, which I really love. Now I do have a little bit of a trick to when I use this product, and you definitely don't have to do this, but I just like how it looks when I do it. And what I do is I take my brow gel, let me get my camera in focus for you, and I just of course unscrew it. And then I start wiping off the excess product onto the tube itself, just so it's a little bit more easy to control, and it just makes it so it applies the right amount of product with not too much and not too little. And now I'm just going to take the wand and start fluffing this through my brows. So here's where I'm at right now after applying the brow gel, and I don't know why, but after I'm done applying brow gel, like I just feel like so put together, and like my brows look like they're fire. Like that is just like totally my thing. But I will say, if you are anything like me, I struggle the most with the beginning portion of my brows. Like right here by my nose is like the worst for me. I can never figure out like what shape I like, and I sometimes get it like too thick, too thin, too round, and all of that. And what I have been noticing is when I do it this way, that I get a better like beginning of my brow. And what I do is I wait till I'm 100% done with my brow, like pomade, brow gel, all of that. And what I do is I take whatever is left on this 7B brush from Anastasia. And again, I hold my brush like this on my brow. So I have the longer portion of the hairs towards the bottom of my brow and the like shorter portion towards the top. So like how we did in the beginning portion of our brow in the beginning of this tutorial. And what I do is I do that again. So longer hairs towards the bottom, shorter hairs towards the top, and I start flicking the excess product inwards. And I start doing this until my brows kind of have like that little bit of a fluff to them, but they're not too square and they're not too round. And it's just something you have to like play with, and if you get it to look kind of like weird, you can just literally take your finger and like kind of like move the product around and get it to where you want it to be. But this has really helped me a lot, and I also take the spoolie and I kind of like fluff the inner part as well. But yeah, so here is the finished look, and I bet a lot of you guys are sitting there like, what? Because if you guys have watched any of my videos, you guys know me. I love a full coverage foundation, smoky eye, liquid lipstick, the whole 9 yards. That is definitely up my alley. But I don't know, I just really wanted to do a little bit more of a natural look, and this is what I came up with. Definitely different than my normal and like usual style, but either way it's a really pretty look. And I also did my hair today, and I actually really like it. I only straighten my hair about twice a year, and this is one of those times, and I don't know, I just really like it. It's really pretty, and it was super easy to do. All I did was took my thumb, and then I just kind of like grabbed some hair on the side, and then pinned it with 2 bobby pins. And that was it, and put a couple products in my hair. Super, super easy. But either way, I think it's really pretty. And I don't know, I just really like it. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube, and if you would like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten, and on Instagram I will be posting the hair tutorial over on there, as well as a bunch of other tutorials as well. I post 7 days a week on there, so if you are looking for more inspiration, definitely check me out on there. And as always, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye!